Let me ask you something that most people are too afraid to ask themselves. When was the last time you were truly in control of your mind, not scrolling endlessly, not reacting to emotions, not living on autopilot? I mean fully, completely. In control of the thoughts you allow inside your head, the energy you put out into the world, and the actions you take every single day. If you're honest, the answer is probably never. Because the truth is this, most people don't control their brain controls them, that's why they're weak, that's why they fail, that's why they never live the life they dream about. Listen carefully, your brain is the most powerful weapon you'll ever have. But if you don't control it, it will destroy you, it will trick you into staying in bed, it will convince you that you're tired when you're not, it will whisper excuses so softly that you mistake them for logic. It will feed you with doubt, fear, and hesitation until you accept a life of mediocrity. And then one day, you'll look back and realize the truth. You didn't live your life. Your brain lived it for you. That's not living. That's slavery. Your brain is designed to chase pleasure and avoid pain. That's how it's wired. That's why you crave junk food instead of clean meals. That's why you want Netflix instead of grinding. That's why you hit snooze instead of rising early. But here's the twist. The things that feel good now create pain later, and the things that feel painful now create greatness later. Comfort destroys. Discipline builds. Your brain will fight you when you try to break free. It will scream at you when you wake up at 5 a.m. It will resist when you push yourself through the workout. It will beg you to stop when you grind through the night. But if you can silence those voices, if you can override the default wiring of your brain, you become unstoppable. You see, winners are not stronger, smarter, or luckier. Winners are the ones who control their brain. Your brain will resist. It will fight. It will test you every single day. But if you take control, if you dominate that voice inside your head, you can create any life you want. Money, power, freedom, respect, legacy. It all begins with one thing, controlling your brain. So from this day forward, stop listening to excuses. Stop obeying weakness. Stop letting your brain dictate your destiny. Stand up, take command, become the master of your mind, because the truth is simple. If you control your brain, you control your life. If you don't, you lose everything. The world belongs to the few who choose control. So ask yourself, are you going to keep being a prisoner of your own brain? Or are you going to be the master? The choice is yours. Every single thing you want in life starts and ends with one thing, your mind. If you cannot master it, you will never master anything else. People chase money, success, respect, and freedom, but they forget the foundation. The foundation is always the mind. Your brain is the battlefield where every victory or defeat begins. If you win there, you win everywhere. If you lose there, no matter how strong, how talented, or how lucky you are, you will crumble. The problem is, most people never master their mind. They become prisoners of their thoughts, slaves of their emotions, victims of their excuses. They wait for motivation, they wait for the right time, they wait for the perfect moment that never comes, and while they wait, life passes them by. The mind whispers tomorrow, the mind whispers take it easy, the mind whispers you're not ready, and they obey. But here's the truth. Your mind is lying to you. It is wired to protect you from discomfort, to keep you safe, to keep you small. If you allow it to rule you, it will trap you in mediocrity for the rest of your life. Mastering the mind is not about comfort. It's about discipline. It's about deciding what must be done and doing it regardless of how you feel. Feelings are temporary. Discipline is forever. When you take command of your thoughts, you no longer wait for motivation. You become your own motivation. You no longer wait for opportunity. You create it. You no longer wait for permission. You give it to yourself. That's what mastery is. It's the ability to silence the excuses, to ignore the lies, and to execute anyway. Think about it. Every champion, every leader, every person who built something great, they weren't different from you. They weren't born special. What separated them was their ability to control their mind. They refused to be dictated by fear, by weakness, by laziness. They understood that success demands sacrifice and sacrifice demands mental control. They trained their minds to obey, and because of that, their minds gave them the world. If you want to master your life, You must master your mornings, master your focus, master your energy, master your reactions. Stop reacting to every problem with panic. Stop reacting to every failure with self-doubt. Stop reacting to every challenge with hesitation. Train your mind to see struggle as opportunity, pain as growth, discipline as freedom. The world cannot break a person who has mastered their mind because they have built armor no one else can see. Your life will only change when your mind changes, and your mind will only change when you take control. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, every second you wait is another second lost. If you want power, freedom, and greatness, you must first conquer the battlefield inside your head. Master the mind, and you master your life. Fail to master it, and you will live as a slave to your own thoughts. The choice is yours. The greatest enemy you will ever face is not outside of you. It is not society, not your family, not your boss, not your circumstances. The enemy that destroys more dreams than anything else is the one living inside your head, that voice of doubt, that whisper of fear, that constant stream of excuses. That is the true enemy, and until you defeat it, you will never win. Every single day, the enemy within tries to control you. It tells you to stay comfortable. It convinces you to take shortcuts. It manipulates you into settling for less than what you deserve. And the worst part, most people never fight back. They surrender without realizing it. They call it being realistic. They call it being practical. But the truth is, they've been defeated before they even tried. The enemy within knows your weaknesses. It knows how to push you toward laziness, how to feed you fear, how to paralyze you with overthinking. It knows how to keep you distracted, addicted, unmotivated. And if you allow that voice to dominate, your life will never be more than average. Because the enemy within doesn't want greatness. It wants safety. It wants comfort. It wants chains disguised as peace. Defeating the enemy within takes war. It takes standing up to your own thoughts and demanding more of yourself. It takes looking fear in the face and saying, "You don't control me." It takes silencing the excuses and replacing them with action. You must build the discipline to act regardless of emotion, regardless of comfort, regardless of doubt. The enemy within is not killed by talk. It is crushed by action. Every time you push forward when your mind says stop, you weaken it. Every time you rise when your thoughts say quit, you defeat it. And each battle you win makes you stronger until one day, the enemy within no longer rules you, you rule it. Understand this, the wars outside of you will always exist. The world will throw obstacles, setbacks, and pain your way. But those external battles are nothing compared to the one inside your head. If you can defeat the enemy within, nothing outside can touch you. Because once you control your thoughts, you control your choices. And once you control your choices, you control your destiny. Greatness is not about talent or luck. It is about conquering yourself. The strongest, the most successful, the most respected people are not those without struggles, but those who learn to silence the enemy within and refuse to let weakness have the final word. So you must decide. Will you keep obeying that voice that tells you you're not ready, you're not good enough, you're too tired, it's too hard? Or will you rise up and fight it with relentless discipline, unshakable focus, and unstoppable action? Your life will not change when the world changes. It will change when you defeat the enemy within, and once you do, no force on this earth will ever be able to stop you. Your emotions are liars. They are temporary, unstable, and unpredictable. One moment they lift you, the next they betray you. If you live your life based on emotions, you will never achieve greatness, because emotions will never allow you to be consistent. Discipline is the only force strong enough to carry you through when motivation fades, when passion dies, when excitement disappears. Discipline is the foundation of success, and it must always stand above emotion. Think about it. How many times have you promised yourself that you'd change, that you'd work harder, that you'd stay consistent, only to stop the moment you didn't feel like it? You were fired up when you were motivated, but the second your emotions shifted, you quit. This is why people fail. This is why dreams die. They place their destiny in the hands of feelings instead of discipline. Feelings are weak, feelings are fragile, but discipline is iron. Discipline means you do what you said you would do, even when you no longer feel like doing it. Discipline means you show up regardless of mood, regardless of excuses, regardless of obstacles. Discipline means you rise above emotions that would otherwise control you. Fear, doubt, laziness, sadness, anger, and you choose to act with clarity and consistency. That is power, that is freedom. When you live by discipline, you become untouchable. When the alarm goes off, emotions beg you to stay in bed. Discipline pulls you out. When the workout burns, emotions beg you to stop. Discipline forces you to push harder. When life gets heavy, emotions scream, quit. Discipline whispers, keep moving. And in the end, discipline always wins. The body follows the mind, and the mind must follow discipline, not emotions. People chase motivation because it feels good. They wait to be inspired, to be excited, to be in the right mood. But waiting for emotions to align is the slowest path to failure. Motivation might start the journey, but discipline finishes it. Motivation might spark the fire, but discipline keeps it burning through storms, through darkness, through doubt. Understand this. Every champion, every warrior, every leader, every builder of greatness had moments when they didn't feel like moving forward. The difference is they did it anyway, not because they felt like it, but because discipline demanded it. Emotion says, I don't want to. Discipline says, I must. Emotion says, I can't. Discipline says, I will. And when the battle is over, it's always discipline that creates results. So if you want to rise, if you want to win, stop letting emotions dictate your actions. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop expecting life to align with your moods. Build discipline so strong that it drowns out every emotion that tries to stop you. Because in the end, your feelings don't matter. Your results do. Discipline over emotion every day, every time. That's how you build a life worth remembering. Every day you wake up, there is a war raging inside your head. A war between the version of you that wants greatness and the version of you that wants comfort. A war between the voice that pushes you forward and the voice that holds you back. This war is invisible, but it's the most important battle you'll ever fight, because the outcome determines your entire life. If you win this war, nothing can stop you. If you lose, nothing else matters. The war inside your head begins the moment you open your eyes. The alarm goes off, and immediately the battle starts. One voice says, get up, chase your goals, be relentless. The other whispers, stay in bed, just 5 more minutes, you'll start tomorrow. That's the war. Every decision, every choice, every second of hesitation. This is where victory or defeat is decided. Most people lose the war inside their head because they underestimate the enemy. They think weakness is harmless. They think procrastination is small, but every time you obey the weaker voice, it grows stronger. Every time you surrender to excuses, you hand over more control, and eventually your mind becomes your master instead of your servant. That's how lives are wasted, not by lack of opportunity, but by constant surrender in this daily battle. The truth is, no one else can fight this war for you. Not your parents, not your friends, not your mentors. It's you against you, your discipline against your emotions, your vision against your doubt, your future against your excuses, and the side you feed the most is the side that wins. If you keep feeding fear, you'll be ruled by it. If you keep feeding excuses, they'll chain you forever. But if you feed discipline, if you feed courage, if you feed focus, you will crush the weaker voice inside your head and rise. Understand that this war never ends. You don't win it once and relax. Every day the battle begins again, but the stronger you become, the easier it gets to silence the enemy. The more times you choose discipline over comfort, the more your mind bends to your command. Eventually, you don't just fight the war, you dominate it. You stop being a soldier and you become the general. This is why mastering the war inside your head is the foundation of everything. Success, wealth, power, respect, freedom. All of it starts with who wins that daily fight. You can have all the talent in the world, all the opportunity in the world, but if you lose the war in your own mind, you will waste it all. So ask yourself right now, who is winning, the strong voice or the weak one? Are you living in control, or are you being controlled? Every choice you make is another bullet fired in this war. Fire enough of the right ones, and you will win. And when you win inside your head, you will win everywhere else. Most people live their entire lives as prisoners and don't even realize it. They are not locked behind bars, but their minds keep them chained. They are prisoners of fear, prisoners of doubt, prisoners of laziness, prisoners of their own thoughts. They live by the rules of the voice inside their head that tells them they can't, they're not ready, it's too hard, or it's too late. And because they listen, they remain stuck, never breaking free, never tasting the life they dream about. But here's the truth. You don't have to stay a prisoner. At any moment, you can choose to take command. The same brain that holds you captive can be trained to obey. The same voice that tells you to quit can be silenced. The same weakness that controls you can be crushed. You can go from being a prisoner of your mind to the commander of it. That shift changes everything. A prisoner reacts. A commander decides. A prisoner obeys emotions. A commander follows discipline. A prisoner sees obstacles as walls. A commander sees them as challenges to conquer. The difference is not luck, not talent, not fate. It's control. Who controls the brain? If your brain controls you, you remain a prisoner. If you control your brain, you rise as a commander. Becoming a commander means no longer waiting for life to happen. It means taking charge and creating it. It means refusing to bow to excuses. It means ignoring the lies your mind whispers and replacing them with actions that prove you are in control. When your brain says, "Stop, you're tired," you command, "We continue." When your brain says, "This is too much," you command, "Push harder." When your brain says, "You can't," you command, "Watch me." That is what it means to take command. It won't be easy. The prisoner inside you will fight. Your old habits will resist. Your comfort zone will scream for you to return. But each time you choose command over captivity, you break another chain. Each time you discipline yourself, you reclaim more freedom. And eventually, you stop being a slave to weakness. You become the ruler of your destiny. Understand this clearly. No one can free you but you. No one else can fight the war in your mind. No one else can rewrite your patterns. No one else can command your thoughts. That responsibility belongs to you alone. But once you take it, you'll discover a power that most people never touch. The power to control your actions, your focus, your future. That's the power of a commander. So decide today. Are you going to keep living as a prisoner to your doubts, your fears, your emotions? Or are you going to rise, take command, and create the life you were meant to live? The door is open. The chains are weak. All that's left is for you to step out of captivity and claim your rightful place, not as a prisoner, but as the commander of your mind and your life. In the end, everything you want, everything you dream of, and everything you fight for comes down to one battlefield, the battlefield of the mind. Your greatest victories will never be against other people, but against the voices of weakness, doubt, and fear that try to chain you every single day. If you master the mind, you master your life. If you defeat the enemy within, nothing outside can break you. If you place discipline above emotion, you become unshakable. If you win the war inside your head, the world becomes yours. And if you rise from prisoner to commander, you take control of your destiny forever. This is not theory. This is not motivation that fades tomorrow. This is truth. The truth that the only thing standing between you and the life you want is your ability to control your brain. Every day you have a choice. Obey the weakness or command it. Remain a prisoner or become a commander. Lose the war inside or rise as the victor. So the question is simple. What are you going to do? Will you keep living as a victim of your own excuses, surrendering to emotions and wasting the years you'll never get back? Or will you stand up, take control, and build a life that commands respect, freedom, and greatness? The choice is in your hands, not tomorrow, not someday, now. Master your mind and you master everything. Defeat the enemy within and you will never be defeated again. Choose discipline over emotion and nothing can stop you. Win the war inside your head and the world will bow to your will. Rise not as a prisoner, but as the commander of your destiny.